In the 1800s in the United States, you had most young people were children of farmers. They worked in the fields. And when somebody proposed that America institute a system of public education for all young people, the parents of the poor parents said, no, we can't allow our kids to go to school. They need to work, otherwise we starve. We don't have enough hands to work in the fields. So they opposed public education. The business community said, we want a system that will create, quote, industrial discipline. Industrial discipline meant you showed up on time, and you did the same work again and again and again and again, just as you did on an assembly line. And what happened was we designed schools that actually resemble the factory. If you look at our schools even today, they simulate factories. Kids have to arrive on time. Why is that? Because in the field, if you come late, it doesn't matter much. Your Uncle Charlie can, fill in for you for a few minutes.
And the bells ring to tell you when the class ends and the next one begins.
If you, as one person, comes late to the assembly line, you might have 1,000 workers standing by doing nothing, waiting for this function to be done before they can work. So the cost of the workers coming late is extremely expensive. Now what's happening? Now more and more people aren't working like that. They're working at home, or they work at different hours, strange hours, and so forth, and you don't need everybody showing up at exactly the same time. So what we have are schools that were literally designed to provide the workforce for an industrial age economy. And they do that very well, but that's not the kind of economy that we have anymore. And therefore, the entire system is obsolete. And we were waiting for Bill Gates to say something. And about 2 years ago, he finally said the right words. He said, we cannot reform our education system, we must replace it. And he is right, because the system is designed, as I said, to prepare people for yesterday, not for tomorrow.
It's really hard to sell kids on math and science. It's really easy to sell kids on cigarettes. Would it help if we made science illegal?
There's another way to make science interesting for people. First of all, we are born scientists. When we're born, we wonder what's out there. We begin to wonder about the sun, life, the stars, what makes the oceans, the weather. We're born scientists. And then something happens. When we hit the danger years of junior high school and high school, that's when it's literally crushed out of us.
Those are the worst.
Every little flower of curiosity, said Einstein, is crushed by society itself. Because we have to learn all these facts, figures, memorization, we think that memorization is science. And that's not true at all. My daughter had to take the Regents exam once, and she had to memorize all these facts and figures about minerals, crystals for a geology exam. Nowhere did I see the true driving force of geology, which is continental drift. That's the organizing principle for all of geology. And yet the exam was memorizing all the names of the crystals and the minerals. And then later she comes up to me and says, Daddy, why would anyone want to become a scientist? That was the most humiliating event in my entire life. I felt like taking that book and ripping it apart, because that exam was crushing curiosity right out of the next generation. And then we wonder, hey, how come people are not more interested in science? Duh.
I just got a letter from a high school kid in Asia. I won't give you any more definition than that. And he's saying, I read your book. I don't want to be sitting in a classroom where I'm treated like a machine or I'm trained for the industrial age. I want to quit school. He says, I don't intend to stop learning. I want to read, and I want to visit all parts of the world. But I don't want to sit in that classroom anymore.
You recognize individual differences, and it's not just one curriculum fits everybody.
Exactly.
You will sit here from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and you will study this page of pages 2 to 3 today and 4 and 5 tomorrow.
Absolutely. What we need, we're going into this is another mistake people make about thinking about the future. In my opinion, they think we're moving into a society which is going to be more and more uniform. I think the reverse is true. We're moving from what the sociologists used to call mass society to a demassified, highly diverse society, which is changing at high speed. And that's the world kids are going to live in. And therefore, the idea that everybody gets the same education, everybody starts at the same age, why 5? Maybe this one should start at 3 and that one at 7, who knows? And why should teachers be the only ones who are theoretically providing useful knowledge, and so on. So the whole thing has to be completely rethought.